Welcome to the Mayor's Show, where every courtroom battle reveals the truth, every verdict tells a story, and justice takes the stand.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Bruce Milam and Lynette Stewart. The two of you have been together for 15 years. You have a 15-year-old together, and you have a 3-week-old,
Yes.
but not with him.
Right.
So this relationship is over.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Milam, you have something that you want me to award from Ms. Stewart, and we can talk about that later on. But, Mr. Milam, why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got here to divorce court today?
When we first met, we would go to all the different concerts, and we went to different restaurants. And I was 4 years young. I'm 4 years younger than her. Mm-hmm. So she had a car. I didn't have a car at the time. So she would come and get me, and she would take me to some new restaurants, and I would take her to some, and she would treat, I would treat, and we had a wonderful time in the beginning. And then we had to move in with each other because I needed somewhere to stay. I needed somewhere to move to, and her family was moving out of town. And she said, "Hey, would you want to move with each other?" I said, "You know what? Let's do it."
Now, how long did you know each other before you two decided to move in together?
6 months.
About 6 months.
Never make big decisions for small reasons. Just because somebody's moved out, But anyway, go ahead.
Like I said, we had really good times. All my friends would say, "Man, where you been all day?" We would spend
All
time.
right, I get it.
Coffee.
It was fun in the beginning. Let's fast forward. We got 15 years to get through.
Okay, so let's zoom. We're gonna zoom from the dating status to moving into the apartment. Got us an apartment. I got a couple extra jobs to make sure everything was good, and I was doing music. And her father was a musician, so we dug each other. I had my studio in the apartment, and everything was good.
I worked full time.
She worked full time, and when I met her, she was going to school to be a teacher, and she worked full time. And I worked a couple jobs and had my own, started my music career and doing some things. And so basically, we started a business, a fragrance company, and run with her. I took some money from my student loan from college. Now,
Mr. Milam, this is a half-hour show.
Okay, so well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get to it, but it's really important. When we started this business, and I told her to quit her job. And one of my buddies, this older guy, said, "Man, you shouldn't have done that. Why did you tell her to quit her job? Let her keep a job and you do your business." Right? I didn't listen because I was making good money. I said, "Maybe you can do it," but I didn't know she was pregnant. But after she quit her,
a month pregnant.
She was a month pregnant
when I quit
when she quit her job.
Yeah.
So
now, why would you quit your job just because someone said quit your job?
Because he told me that this was going to be a lucrative business and that we'd do well together. It's funny that he's using the word "we," because it was never we. It was always him.
What do you mean it was never we?
He never acknowledged me as a partner, ever.
Was she a partner in the business?
yes.
Oh, he hesitated. Did you hear that?
Well, you go ahead and you tell me how you think things went.
I started the business. I went out and got all the accounts. I sell wholesale to a lot of stores and things like that. So I go get the accounts, and she helped manufacture the products, and I would deliver.
I manufactured all the products.
No, with me.
Without me,
no, I did.
You couldn't go into those stores
no,
and sell.
we manufactured together.
Well, not always.
Why do you feel the need to diminish whatever she did in the business? Why is that important?
I apologize. You know what? And that's immature. Yes, that was being immature. And I do respect everything she's done with the business. I respect everything she's done with the business. Without her work and without her creating labels and doing things like that, the business wouldn't be where it is. Okay, so I can respect her for that and acknowledge that.
Without her
Mind
making
you,
labels.
I was doing all
Boy,
of
you're very condescending over there. Without her making labels, it never would have worked out. Wow.
So
Ms. Stewart, why don't you tell me when things started to go bad?
Well, 2 years into us, moving in together, I had gotten pregnant, like you said, but I was also doing this business, and I had a baby. And I had to cook, laundry, clean, and whatever else that, women do. So I was doing it.
Well, I have to jump in. Also, on top of this, we end up opening up a retail store on top of the wholesale business. Right? I'm also doing music. Now, when she got pregnant, she told me, "You need to get all this stuff out of this apartment because I can't smell nothing. I don't like the smell of toothpaste, cologne, anything." She was pregnant.
Yeah.
So therefore, after that point, I had to go get a storage. I started hiring employees, little neighborhood people, little kids, and teenagers who wanted a job. So I hired some little local people to help out with the business. So therefore, I started getting employees.
You are killing me.
Right.
I've gotten all these details about a business. Now, if we were here trying to split the business up, I could see it. This is divorce court. You're telling me why you guys aren't together anymore. Let's move forward.
Okay.
Well, that's one thing, because he never appreciated what I did for the business. So I was never an equal partner. So that rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
And then we get into some other things as well.
Well, tell me about something else.
Okay, well, how about him cheating?
Okay.
Okay.
How often, when did he
So-
cheat and how often did he do it?
Well, the first red flag for me was, like he said, he has a rap, career. When I met him, he had a CD and this and that. So he would do emceeing different events and go out to different events. And I had seen some emails where he was contacting some women. And then the second thing was that he went out of town with a mutual friend of his, and there was a photograph of him and like 4 other women, and you could see Mr. Milam's hand planted on a woman's
Behind.
Not the behind, on the higher, on a
no,
high hip.
it was. Yeah,
It was right there.
there.
It
And
was
my
right there.
family
High hip.
alerted me to the photograph because it was on some social media. I hadn't seen it. And I said, well, what is this about? Oh, this is nothing. Then there was some other women in between there. And then finally, confirmation came when I was getting the mail one day, and I had received a 5-page handwritten letter from a woman that he had, pretty much an
affair with.
long-term
Mr. Milam,
affair with.
did that occur?
Yes.
How long did you have the affair for?
Only about 5 to 6 months.
5 to 6 months.
Maybe even less than that, but about 5 months.
But about 5 months. And tell me how that circumstance presented itself. How did you fall into that?
Well, we went way ahead, about a decade. Okay?
But because,
She's pressed the
I
time.
got to retire by 62.
Okay.
And I just...
Okay.
And in order to get there...
But I'm gonna tell you, for many years, I would tell her, see, she have a hard time communicating her feelings and her emotions and what she like to do. I wanted her to go back to work. When she worked, her company loved her, and I'm like, you need to get back to that. Go back to school. I told her, whatever you want to do in life, I would support it. If it's school, whatever, because I didn't want her to see her grow and to do the best that she can be.
But you didn't want her to see you sit at home.
I didn't want to see her sit at home because...
I got it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I feel it was revenge for me cheating on her. And, and I wouldn't do that. If I got hurt...
I wouldn't do that. I'll have an affair on you. I'll be with another woman for 5 whole months, but man, I wouldn't retaliate by having sex with somebody. I'm above that part. Mr. Milam, you say that Ms. Stewart also cheated on you. You weren't the only one.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Well, you know what? I feel it was revenge for me cheating on her. And, and I wouldn't do that. If I got hurt...
I wouldn't do that. I'll have an affair on you. I'll be with another woman for 5 whole months, but man, I wouldn't retaliate by having sex with somebody. I'm above that part.
Because I told that woman, you know what? She, even though she did good by me, and I thought she forgave me, and so I felt this was retaliation. But when we was living in we moved back to Las Vegas, and I see her on the social media all the time. She's on the phone every 5 minutes, just all day, and so basically, a friend, her old boyfriend, was able to get in contact with her through social media, right? And so she told me that she's been talking to him, and one holiday she told me, well, I need to go to my friend's house and spend a day over my friend's house that lives out a couple hours away, and I'm gonna spend this.
And
holiday.
she was really with this guy.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day. I'm barbecuing.
Okay. The detail. Ms. Stewart, why don't you tell me what happened in the course of the relationship after you find out about the 5-month affair?
Well, we were together. I mean, I tried to maintain a 2-parent household for our son as much as, I could. I hid a lot of things from him. But I was never over the fact that he had cheated.
Was it retaliation like he claimed?
Absolutely not. This was in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, so this is years later.
This is like
about a year and a half.
2014. When he cheated, it was 2011.
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
We were pretty much done anyways.
Right.
Because a lot happened before that.
A lot of cheating, or what happened before
Well,
that?
there's, I didn't know if he was cheating or not. There was all kinds of little things that, would come up, and we had a lot of financial problems, with the business. It was hard being entrepreneurs and maintaining finances was hard, and so we were always at each other's throats, and then we became two ships in the night.
Right. That's what you guys said. More roommates than anything else.
Yeah. So it was pretty much done. It didn't hurt me that he went out and had a relationship or sex with someone else. What hurt me was the details in this letter that I felt that he should have had that conversation with me. Mm-hmm. There were things that she mentioned in that letter
that she knew about you guys' relationship.
She knew about me that she should not have ever known, because only he and I knew those things.
Did you talk to the other woman about personal, deep, meaningful things with her, about her, with the other woman?
A couple of things I did. She embellished a few things and wanted to make her mad because we weren't together no more. So she threw some extra seasoning salt on it, a little hot sauce.
But you did plant the seed.
Yeah, I did.
You did that. So not only did you cheat on her physically, but you sold out her secrets and her soul to some chick that you were sleeping with.
You know what? And that was very immature of me, and I apologize for that. That was very wrong, and men shouldn't do that. And I would say that I put that out there. That's not. It hurt her bad, and she said she was over it. She wasn't over the fact, because the whole time that after I cheated, she would bring it up every other week.
Yeah.
You buy that when you have a 5-month affair. You buy the anger of the woman you had an affair on. You buy the mistrust. You buy the insecurity, because you chose to. She didn't make you sleep with that woman.
True.
She didn't make you tell her secrets to that woman. You decided to do that.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Did you want to get married?
Absolutely. And I expressed that the first year, the second year, the 7th year.
She let everybody get in her ear all the time.
I said we'd go down to the courthouse. It'd be something simple.
True.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Milam, it's not something in somebody's ear. It's what it's in our. Ms. Stewart, Mr. Milam claimed that a lot of the financial difficulties that you had were a function of the fact that you didn't go back to work. But you contend that he spent money like it grew on trees, and that, too, was a contributing factor in your financial distress. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, when he was in Vegas, he did gamble a lot of money. He would win, but he would also lose a lot. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, that would hurt us. It was money that we really didn't have for him to be gambling away. He also bought clothing, alligator shoes, hats. One day he pulled up out front, and he had bought an ice cream truck. The freezers didn't even work. But our son automatically thought Daddy had an ice cream truck.
Mr. Milam, did you buy an ice cream truck?
I did buy an ice cream truck.
Why did you do that?
I was going to turn it into an in-center oil truck, and I was going to drive around the neighborhood selling my fragrances in this truck. It was a good idea. Didn't have the capital that I would like to. If I had extra money, I could have made that work.
Yeah. He also bought a van to move stuff, with the business.
I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, you don't fail unless you try. You got to try things out. The most successful people got to try different things. You're not going to win everything, but something going to work.
So many different businesses and business ideas.
I'm still doing it.
But
you got to give him a little bit of a credit, though. Yeah. I mean, he's making an effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going out there, and people who do try things. I mean, Steve Jobs failed big time at one point, and look how he turned out.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it happens. So, entrepreneurs have a tough way to go until they don't have a tough way to go, and then you're really happy that you're there with them when the things...
He's a heck of a salesman.
Yeah.
100%.
I got you.
So that I will say.
So what, for you, Mr. Milam, was the final straw?
When she cheated and she left, and she said, I just remember her telling that when she left and that said she was going to her friend's house for this little holiday season, I was really emotional then. I never felt those feelings before. I felt like my family was breaking up. Mm-hmm. Because I felt something was going on, and I felt the little lies coming. I said, nah, men know what's going on, just like women know, men know what's happening too. We feel a little feeling like there's something more to this story here. She's out, and I had did some business with my distributor in Vegas, and I gave her some money. She took this money, went out with this dude, and they went gambling. Talk about gambling. She went out to the casino.
It was my money.
It was her money.
Let me ask you a question.
She went out, took this money, and she went out and did her
We're talking
thing.
about a 15-year. Hang on. We're talking about a 15-year relationship with a child in it. How come you two never got married? Just a question.
Okay, you know what? And I'm going to own that. I just grew up not too long ago on that because I was real immature. You know, just not too long ago I grew up.
Very self-aware, Mr. Milam. I congratulate you on that.
Now, and I would say this, and this is advice I would give to men also. You can get married without anything, because I thought that you have to have a certain FICO score, a certain level of finances, be at a certain level, right? And we had so many conflicts in our relationship before, I just didn't really feel like doing it, because it was like every time I felt like I wanted to do it, we arguing and cussing and not communicating right.
We didn't have conflicts the first 2 years. We didn't have conflicts when I was pregnant.
Well, Ms. Stewart, let me ask you this. Did you want to get married? And
Absolutely. And I expressed that the first year, the second year, the seventh year.
She let everybody get in her ear all the time.
I said we'd go down the courthouse. It'd be something simple.
True.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Milam, it's not something in somebody's ear. It's what it's in our brains. You know, we got oxytocin. We want a bomb. We want you to come on in, sit down.
But you know what I'm saying? No, I'm gonna take responsibility for that, because I just thought I was supposed to be at a certain level, and now I recognize that my future, that I will get married. You know, when if we on a bus stop with each other, we'll go from the bus to a cab to a bus.
Okay, I got you.
It's okay.
I got you. Okay.
All right, so
I applaud you, because I do think you were young and you did things that a young man would do, but all the while you were trying to make it work. I mean, business-wise, you were trying to hold it down, and I respect that. And just because the stuff didn't take off doesn't mean that you didn't give it a good effort or a good try. Ms. Stewart, I think that you provided far more than he ever acknowledged. And I hope that you can acknowledge that going forward, because it's very difficult to give and give and give, be integral to a large part of your business, just because it was your idea, but to do all the books and the back work and all of that, that's very, very meaningful. And it's something that you would have had to pay somebody else to do that she was holding down. And I think she wants some props for that, a little respect for that. And I want you to be able to give that to her, because, you know, she spent 15 years with you. She was down for the cause.
Yes.
Down for the cause, and I think you ought to, thank her for that. And so she doesn't. No, you minimized her. Don't condescend. You minimized her position and her point and all this. Now, you asked her for some money. I know you weren't serious about it because of the amount of money. So we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to pretend that never happened. We're not even going to say anything about that. All I want you to do is give my lady right here her propers. That's all she wants at this juncture. And I think you just the man to do it.
Yes.
I think you got it together. Yes. This matter is adjourned.
You got your props. You're an awesome mother.
Bruce and Lynette's story demonstrates what happens when you're young and you make big decisions for small reasons.
Thanks for watching The Mayor's Show. Was justice served? Share your verdict below and subscribe for more unforgettable courtroom stories.